If the land is held in allodial, okay, it's yours. If there's an allodial title, that means somebody issued the title. Okay, now you can hold your land in allodial, but if you have an allodial title, it means somebody created that title. You guys, what you guys are doing is you're using too many words. First you said living woman. Why not just woman? Why not just allodial? Why do you guys have to keep adding multiple words? Because it diminishes the capacity of that word. We talked about this back in April extensively. The guy Greg from Chicago came on. He was talking about that. It's like, well, we just did something like simple, like I love you kind of thing. And then it's like, I love you more today than I did yesterday. So that, okay, so what? Then the next day you might love me less, or you might you're putting conditions on it. You guys got to talk in simple terms. You guys want to get the A+ and the gold star by saying allodial title and living woman or living, breathing soul entity Yahweh. Why don't you just say man?
No, I agree with you. I just, I'm glad you're pointing things out. This is what I need.
If you agree with me, okay, whether you agree with me or not, is regardless, I couldn't care less. I actually like people who disagree with me more than people who do agree.
No, but I wanted to ask you something, though. When you say land is held in allodial, where do you, beyond God the Creator in the Bible, where do you support that evidence if you're going in to argue a point like that?
Who are you going to, okay, you're going to argue a point. Who are you arguing with?
I don't want to argue with anyone. I just want to go in there and ask for my stuff back.
Everybody. I want to argue with everybody who's challenging my claim.
Okay.
To argue means to clear something up. See, you're listening to like Gordon Hall shows or Fremont Montana shows. Man, this is really simple because people always say, oh, well, you're not going at the court to create an argument, are you? I said, absolutely. I'm here to make it crystal clear, because that's what argue means, to polish, to make shine, to make transparent, to see through, to make crystal clear. Of course I'm going into court to argue my case. Why am I going to court? To just agree with the other guy? If there's nothing in controversy, why are we in court? We settled it on the private side. Obviously we couldn't do it. So obviously now we're in court. So we're here to argue the case. Like I said, it's all these years of like Winston Strausser or Gordon Hall telling you people, oh, you don't want to go to court and argue. Really? That's the only reason why we're in court is because we couldn't settle it on the private side. Now we have to make our case present to the world. We got to bring it into an open forum and let the world decide whose case has got merit. We're arguing it. So somebody actually went to etymology.org or .com the other day when I was on the phone with him, and he actually said, wow, that's actually what it means in Latin, to make it clear, to make transparent, to see through it, to bring forth the facts or the truth. Yes. Why would I not want to argue?
Okay, so then, Karl, this is my next question.
Ma'am, before you ask me anything else, this is what I'm trying to get through to you people. All I'm trying to say is all these people that you listen to, these gurus who came before me, they will probably be given tons of misinformation by attorneys who said, you know what? Oh, teach these people not to argue. Tell them not to argue because to argue is a bad, bad thing. Oh, and you don't want to argue. So then all you people are running around saying, we're not here to argue. We're not here to argue. Then the judge was like, okay, then I guess you just agree with the other side then.
No,
because you're not here to argue. If you're not here to argue, like all the Gordon Hall kind of people kept saying, oh, well, we're not here to argue, sir. It's like, then the judge looks at you like, if I was a judge, I said, you're out of your mind. Then what are you doing here? Well, if you're not here to argue, then I'm going to give the other side everything they want.
Yeah, no, we did not claim to be the living, or we didn't claim to be the fiction. The all-caps name. We asked her to identify, what it was, and nobody would.
Simple, ma'am. It's very simple. All you said is argue, okay? You said, I'm not going to court to argue. Okay, like I said, if you're that far behind, and you don't understand what a simple word like argue means, and you want to come on a show and start screaming up and down, well, this is what we got to do, this is what we got to do. And you say, well, you got to argue your case in court. You got to argue your facts. You got to argue your beliefs. You're like, oh, no, I don't. it's like, okay, you know what? You need to go back to square one. And you need to learn.
No. I didn't mean it that way, Carl. The fact that what I claim to be my property, there is no argument because I created it from the ground up. There's no argument about it. That's maybe you didn't hear the first part of the call when I was explaining.
Well, let me tell you this. The part that I came in, you said you're a living woman. Is there any other way a woman could come into court other than being alive?
Absolutely not. Maybe a dead.
Then why? What I'm trying to say is,
dead.
You guys are using words that have been bounced around for the last 5, 10, 15 years by gurus.
Okay,
but
I just want one question answered, if you could, please, just one.
Yeah,
and it's something I've been hunting for because I have not found it. Where do I bring my claim? In the small claims court in the same state, or can I do it in my local state where I'm at now? And do I go to the small claims court here? Am I correct?
Okay. You're not going to get it. You keep saying small claims court.
I don't know where to bring the claim.
Okay, no, ma'am. You keep saying small claims court.
Well, that's the only court that I know that I heard you talk about before.
I asked you a simple question. Did you keep saying small claims court?
Yes, I said it because that's what I heard you say probably on...
So I said, no, that's not what I said, ma'am. When people like you ask me, do I bring it to a small claims court? I don't say yes, bring it to a small claims court. It's like 1 penny worth arguing about in an open court to me is huge. I don't diminish the capacity of my claim by calling it small. This is what I'm saying that you're a major malfunction, ma'am. You're saying living woman, allodial title, small claims. For some reason, you can't just say woman, claims, allodial. You have to keep expanding on the word, and you're diminishing its strength and its capacity.
Okay, well that's fine. So what court?
It's not fun, ma'am. If you don't understand these simple, basic concepts of how to use words, I can tell you everything on the planet Earth, and I'm telling you, as soon as you open your mouth and say something, you're going to lose the capacity to stand. You're going to undermine everything you're trying to do.